This is lecture 3, part 2, Gauss-Jordan elimination. Let's just get straight into Gauss-Jordan elimination. This is a process that takes practice. This is an algorithm and a method. So it takes a practice, and the easiest way to show it is by example. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So Gauss-Jordan elimination is the process of getting any matrix into reduced form. We've talked a little bit about what reduced form is. Now the method itself. So the first step is go to the first pivot. Find a first pivot. Use row operations to make that pivot equal to 1. And then zero out the other elements in that same column. Go to the next pivot. Follow the same process, row operations, zero out the other columns. Continue this until no more pivots remain. We're going to demonstrate this. I'm going to demonstrate this algorithm using problem 50 from section 4.3. We start out with our system of equations. Recall how to convert that to an augmented matrix. So 2, 4, 3, 6, 7, 6, 15, 13, 12, minus 12, minus 10, minus 9. Now, it takes a little bit of practice to know what the best approach is. So I'm choosing, and this is from practice, this is from experience, we start out with this row. This is where we need our pivot point, where we have the red surrounding the number 2. However, I think I'm going to prefer to take this row and put that in the pivot. And this is just by experience. That's something that you get with practice. If you don't follow this method, you'll still get the right result, the right answer. It might just take you a couple extra steps. So my step is going to be to take row 3, put this into row 1, and divide it by 3. Okay? And I'm noting this by saying 1/3 of row 3. So doing that, we end up with 1, 2, 4, and minus 3. 1, 2, 4, and minus 3. And then row 2, 4, 7, 13, minus 10, and row 1, 2, 6, 15, and 12. Okay. We have that. Now our next step is used row operations to make the pivot equal to 1. The next step is to zero the other elements in the pivot column. The way that we zero out the other elements is we'll multiply row 1 by minus 4 and add that to row 2. And then we'll multiply row 1 by minus 2 and add that to row 3. Okay? Let's try and be relatively clear with us. Row 1 stays exactly the same. 1, 2, 4, minus 3. Minus 4 times row 1 is minus 4 plus 4, which is 0. Minus 8 plus 7, which is minus 1. Minus 16 plus 13, which is minus 3. And minus 12 minus 10. I'm sorry, 12 minus 10, which is 2. So that is row 2. Now moving to the next row, we do minus 2 times row 1 plus row 3. So minus 2 times row 1 will get a 0. Minus 4 plus 6 is 2. Minus 8 plus 15 is 7. And 6 minus 12 is minus 6. If you've got any questions as I'm going through this, do try and ask. So what we've done is we have zeroed out the other values in this column. Let's take a look at what our algorithm says. Zero the other elements in the pivot column, go to the next pivot, and loop until no more pivots remain. So what's the next pivot? So the next pivot is what we have highlighted or squared with this red. So this is what we're going to do. We need to get this to a 1. So we get all of our pivots equal to 1. This is the next pivot to work with. Multiply it by -1. Multiply the whole row by -1 to get this pivot. So we just copy row 1. Row 2 is 0, 1, 3, -2. And row 3 is just the same as it was above. Now, we have our pivot, which is 1. We need to zero out the other elements in this column. We'll do that by multiplying row 2 by -2, adding it to row 1, multiplying row 2 by -2, and adding it to row 3. And that's what we're indicating here. So we have -2 row 2 plus row 1. So -2 plus 2 is 0. -6 plus 4 is -2. 4 minus 3 is 1. Then we're going to go to row 3. So it's -2 times row 2 plus row 3. So we're going to end up with 0. -6 plus 7 is 1. And 4 minus 6 is -2. Okay, everyone clear with that? Good. Now looking at this, we'll see that we now have pivots 1, 1, and we actually have another 1. So all we have to do is clear out. We don't need to do anything. We have a pivot there. It's already equal to 1. We don't need to do anything to that. However, we do need to zero out the other values in this column. And we're going to do that by multiplying row 3 by 2 and adding it to row 1, and row 3 by -3 and adding it to row 2. That's what we're doing in this next step, as indicated. And it's what I find the best way to keep track of this for yourself and for me when you're getting graded is to write down your row operations. So we already have first column, second column, and we know that we selected our values in order to get the zeros here and here. And then we have 2 times row 1, 2 times row 3, which is 2. Plus 1. I'm going to pause it a moment. Sorry, I'm back. I had to take a little bit of a break. I apologize for that. Where were we? We were looking at this. So let's see. 2 times row 3. So 2 minus 2. 2 times row 3 is -4 plus 1 is -3. And then for the next one, we have -3. -3 times row 3, so -3 plus 3 is 0. -3 plus 3 is 0. -3 times -2 is -6. I'm sorry, -3 times -2 is 6. -2 is 4. Okay? Now, from here, we can just write this out. We can find the solution very quickly and easily from this. X3 is equal to 2. Oh, here, let's start at the top. X1 equals minus 3. X2 equals 4. And X3 equals minus 2. Where am I getting these values? I'm getting these values directly. Here, I'm going to erase these points here so it's a little bit easier to see. I am getting these directly from here. So X1 equals minus 3. X2 equals 4. And X3 equals minus 2. X1, X2, X3. Okay? That's it. We'll stop this video and we'll do one more that just covers the solution results. Thank you.